My name's Ryan. I work nights at Chuck E. Cheese. People laugh when I tell them that. They picture me lounging in a chair, scrolling on my phone, eating leftover pizza, while the arcade lights flash. That's what I thought it would be like, until I realized some places are alive when no one's looking. I wasn't supposed to be here. Not really. I used to teach kids at an after-school program. I loved it. Well, I thought I did, until that one afternoon. A little boy ran into the street. I wasn't paying attention. I froze. He wasn't hurt badly, thank God, but the memory haunts me. The scream, the flash of tires, the look in his parents' eyes. I quit teaching. I quit caring. The Chuck E. Cheese job seemed harmless. A place full of kids, but empty at night. No risk, just money. Easy. Except guilt has a way of following you. And this place somehow knew. The first night was deceptively quiet. Silence unlike any I'd known. During the day, Chuck E. Cheese is chaos. Screaming children, ringing machines, arguing parents. But at night, the silence presses down on you. The air itself feels wrong, thick with eyes. The animatronics stand on stage, frozen, staring. Chuck E., Helen Henny, Jasper T. Jowls, and Mr. Munch. Their smiles too wide, their eyes just a little too alive. At 2 a.m., I heard music, not from the speakers, scratchy, warped, like an old birthday record. The cameras showed stage lights on. The animatronics moved, jerky, stiff, performing for no audience. I leaned closer to the monitor. Chuck E.'s head turned, slowly, deliberately, straight at the camera, straight at me. I almost dropped my flashlight. By the second night, I noticed little things. Coins spilled on the arcade floor, though machines were empty. Footsteps in the prize room, dragging, scraping across the tile. The ball pit shifted, like something underneath was alive. I shone my flashlight, but nothing moved. The guilt from the boy in the street returned with every sound. Maybe the animatronics were feeding off it. Maybe I was seeing things. I followed a trail of prize tickets that led from the counter to the walk-in freezer. The door was wide open. Frost covered the walls. Someone, or something, had written, "Let's play forever." I went home early that night, slept with the lights on. By the third night, I was trembling when walking the floor. At 1:45 a.m., the cameras flickered. I thought I saw children sitting cross-legged on the carpet, staring at the stage. Their eyes wide, unblinking, the feed corrected. The room was empty, but I knew what I saw. At 2:30 a.m., a soft humming started, low, vibrating, hundreds of voices blending together just below hearing. I walked past the stage. Chuck E.'s jaw was open wider than it should, like the hum was coming from inside him. "Stay and play," a voice whispered. I ran. I almost quit after that, but the paycheck mattered. I told myself one more week. That night, the arcade machines glowed faintly. No power, just buttons lighting up on their own, levers moving. A skee-ball machine rolled balls down by itself, over and over. A ticket chute in the redemption counter spat tickets like it was counting something. I grabbed them. They were blank. I crumpled them in my hands, but the machine kept spitting more. The animatronics seemed to shift when I walked by. Not physically. Their eyes followed me, and their smiles seemed sharper. I remembered the boy, the street, my frozen hands, my failure. The machines weren't just haunted, they knew me. By night 5, the shadows in the hallways seemed alive. I felt them pressing against my back, shifting when I turned. Every hallway looked longer than it should. Every door seemed further away. The monitors flickered again. Arcade, kitchen, prize room, all empty. I checked the hallway outside the office. 4 figures, all 4 animatronics, shoulder to shoulder, eyes faintly red, watching. The power cut, darkness, footsteps, heavy, dragging, circling, scratching at the door. Then Chuck E.'s voice, warped. "Come out and play, Ryan." The show's not over. I pressed myself against the wall, shaking, heart pounding. I whispered to myself, "You're safe. It's a machine. You're imagining it." But I knew better. This is when I realized it wasn't just a haunting, it was a test. The office door creaked open. Cold air slithered in. The birthday song began. Scratchy, warped, hundreds of voices layered on top of each other. I stumbled forward. Shadows of the stage reached toward me. I tripped, fell, crawled toward the monitors. On screen, I saw myself cross-legged on the stage, facing the animatronics. My smile, not mine. My eyes, not mine. They whispered. I could hear my own voice. Forever. The lights flickered. I saw the boy from the street, just for a second, standing among the animatronics, his eyes hollow, his tiny hand outstretched toward me. I screamed. I ran. The doors slammed themselves shut. The building groaned like metal bending under weight. I ran to the parking lot, heart pounding, hands shaking, my reflection in the puddles staring back at me, smiling, grinning. Not mine. The next morning, the cameras showed nothing. Animatronics still. No signs of movement. But I knew. They'd follow me. Always. I keep this journal. I write every night before I go back. I don't know how much longer I can survive. I don't even know if I'm alive. If you find this, don't take the night shift at Chuck E. Cheese. Don't ignore your past. And whatever you do, don't look at the stage, because they will see you, and the show never ends.